Welcome back to another episode of TPC. I am joined with Ty today. We're going to do the NFL Week 14 predictions pretty much. It's late in the season. Finally have someone join the podcast in a while. But let's start with the games for the week. So let's do a little recap of the Cowboys' little Detroit game. Pretty much my Dallas Cowboys lost to Detroit, pretty much eliminated from playoffs almost for that wild card position. But Ty, how do you feel about this game? Pretty much, if you had to say, like, from a point of view
Honestly,
from it.
my point of view is I think the Cowboys are done for the season. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like it's going to be a hard climb up, but this really helps the Lions, especially in their competitive division. You have the Bears in there. You have the Vikings are just complete garbage, so they're done.
Yes.
But you also have the Packers in there, so that's kind of like a three-way race for the top of the division and the competitive division. So I feel like that really helps the Lions more than we could see, honestly.
I definitely agree with that. I mean, the Lions, where they're at right now, they're battling for the division. And pretty much, coming in this year, we thought this team, I knew they were going to take a step, but not big of a step like this. Their offense is really good, but the injuries are starting to pile up right now. Brian Branch is out for now, an ACL injury for a couple weeks now. I don't know how, maybe the year, honestly. And Kirby Joseph is still hurt. So this injuries are building up a little bit. Kind of the same thing how last year was when they were 15-2, looking red hot, and then injuries started piling up. And guess what they got next week? They got the LA Rams, pretty much. And then Jared Goff going back to LA for his second time in his career, but now it's finally with a crowd around that. So we'll see how that goes. And I think Matthew Stafford's going to put some points up there. And the Cowboys, I'm so weird with stereotypical team, like superstitious. There hasn't been a repeat in the NFC East since '03. Okay. I feel like there's some way, somehow, the Eagles are going to choke this division. Some way, somehow. And the Cowboys will win this division, go 10-6-1, because I don't think the Cowboys lose another game. I don't. And that's my opinion on that. I think you hate that because, you do have our second round pick, pretty much,
Yeah.
from the Jets, of course. But, we'll see how it goes rest of the year. But enough talk about the Thursday night game, pretty much. Let's start with the Sunday games, pretty much. Atlanta versus Seattle. I'm really disappointed with Atlanta this year. Michael Penix is out this year, and Kirk Cousins came in, and they lost to your New York Jets last week to a game-winning field goal. That is just unbelievable right there. And I can't believe you probably watched the game. What are your thoughts of how did the Falcons fall apart, pretty much, if you to say?
I mean, they just can't get the ball moving on offense. They're really injured. I was looking into the Drake London because I'm really big into fantasy, so I'm kind of looking at that aspect, and it's kind of reminded me of the Brock Bowers. You don't see Atlanta kind of looking for a playoff spot at this point, although they don't have their first round pick, so that will really affect them. But when you look at the Brock Bowers injury, it's kind of similar to the Drake London injury. So I feel like Drake London will be out for the rest of the year too.
Yeah, missing their big receiver threat pretty much. And we thought Kyle Pitts coming in this year. I mean, him and Michael Penix were really good at the beginning of the year, but since then has not been anything. Only 500 yards this year, I think, so far in receiving. But Drake London is pretty much his team with Bijan at the helm too, because this team depends so much on those two players. And missing that is going to be a thing. And I really think they need to fire Raheem Mostert or Morris. In my bad, I think they need to fire him. There was a terrible hire in the first beginning. And the thing is, it made no sense. You had him as an interim in 2020 when Dan Quinn left. You could have made him your full head coach, but then you brought him back for another time. You thought it was going to be different this time. I make no sense, in my opinion, with that. Missing Mike Vrabel. And I think if they go out this season, they got to go get after guy like Kunz Kingsbury or John Gruden this offseason. And Seattle, we know they're red hot. I mean, Sam Darnold, I don't know. This, last week was bad. It was bad last week against Minnesota Vikings. I don't know who his stats was. I think it was around 2 interceptions that game, if I'm correct.
Yeah, it might have been. I
It
don't
was
think
just
he had a passing touchdown either.
No, he had none. No, 14 for 26, 128 yards. It was bad.
I feel like the problem is with Sam Darnold is you either get a good Sam Darnold, like USC Sam Darnold, or you'll get New York Jets Sam Darnold. There's no consistency between that. For the amount of money that he is making, there's just no consistent where you kind of see okay, this guy deserves this money. It's kind of hit or miss every week.
I agree with that. Honestly, it's a very hit and miss with this team because I think Seattle, their offense is so red hot. Their defense is carrying. This defense had, I think, I don't know how many yards they had. I didn't know they had 2 touchdowns and 4 interceptions with that. It was just unbelievable game by their defense, and their defense is carrying this team on some games, of course. But when Sam Darnold pulls out games like this, I'm worried for playoffs. I am really am, how is this team going to perform when it comes to playoff time? And I don't know how this team's going to perform in playoff time. I mean, JSN is this team, if I had to say it, with them. Um, it's just Kenneth Walker, Charbonnet, those two running backs. I mean, that's a combination right there. I'm worried about them when it comes to playoff time. I don't know how Sam Darnold's going to show up. It kind of maybe be like Minnesota last year in the first round. So I don't know. That's
He looked really bad against the Rams too. Like when you're playing playoff teams, like he doesn't look as like good as he does against really bad teams. So we'll have to see how he plays.
And yeah, another for example for a playoff team, the Bucks game. It was their drive. It was literally the game-winning drive. He threw a pick to I don't know who they threw it. David, the middle linebacker, threw it straight to the pick and then kicked the game-winning field goal. Like he's turnover machine right now, and I don't know why with this situation. Hopefully they'll figure it out. If he's not, I mean, they got your former quarterback, Alabama. I mean, Jalen Miller was just back there in case of any situation, anything can happen. I mean. We've seen the same story before with Russell Wilson was a third-round quarterback and came out of nowhere, picked up the helm. Maybe, I don't know. But enough to talk about Seattle game pretty much. But now we'll skip this game. Let's just go hit the Minnesota game, Washington game. This game, J.J. McCarthy's might be back this week. Washington, I don't know if Jaden Daniels is back this week.
I think he is.
Is he back? Let me see that. Let me see if he's out.
I think I saw a report today that said he was full. Like yesterday, I saw he played full practice, and like they're saying he's expected to suit up. So that's a crazy injury to come back that quick. Like how disgusting that looked.
It was bad. I really can't believe he came back that fast, and now he's coming back this game. And I really wanted the Commanders win last week because if they won that game, 4-8 over the red hot Broncos, and you're going in now to Minnesota. Still battling for the division, and you still had four division games. That's the thing. After their stretch after this, they have a lot of division games. That's it. And they could have made a push for the playoffs, but now going below 500 looks like this year, once again, after that 12-5 crazy run with them. And now I don't know how it's going to look right now. And they got the Eagles twice this year. I hope the Eagles somehow lose to them, but we'll see. And Minnesota, I got no words. Free Justin Jefferson. Free him. It is – that guy, J.J. McCarthy, is not it. What are your thoughts on J.J.?
I mean, like, there's jokes all around it, but, like, seriously, like, I really don't think he's that good of a quarterback. Like, I really, like, want to root for the guy because, like, I like seeing guys, like, make out their dreams in the NFL and everything, but, like, it's just been bad.
It has been. So far, the experience has been really terrible, and they need to go after or get a vet. And I think the quarterback I think you go after is maybe Winston. I don't think Kyler fits your system. I don't. I think Winston is the perfect fit for the system because the thing is about Kevin O'Connell, you look what he was in for the LA Rams Super Bowl run. He made Matthew Stafford have one of his best seasons, not counting this year, of course. Looked like 42 touchdowns, went to the Super Bowl, made Cooper Kupp insane, and there's a reason why was the coach of the year in 22 and made Kirk Cousins look phenomenal. He just needs a quarterback that can hit the intermediate pass with the deep with the play action. If the play action off the boot, this offense is phenomenal. He just needs to find a quarterback that's really good with the play action. And JJ, I mean, he can't even get a play action. The man fumbles the ball pre-snap every time. It's bad. I really thought the Vikings were going to come in this year, looked really good with JJ McCarthy. I was high on JJ, but it is not looking good in the JJ McCarthy era so far. And they got to find a veteran. So, in my opinion, quick next season. Or Kevin O'Connell is fired. So. That is that. But let's hurt on the game. I think it's going to be really good, and this could change the season for this team. The Bengals versus the Bills. This game, the Bills, in the history of Joe Burrow versus Josh Allen, it's 1-1 right now. After that one, the first time they met up was, I think it was when, what's his name? Hamlin got hurt. And then they met in the playoffs, and then Josh Allen lost to Joe Burrow. So it's 1-1 right now in the series, or 1-0. I don't even know. But the Bengals got the win over the Ravens last week on Thanksgiving. And it was a blowout fashion. Joe Burrow's first game looked really good. And Josh Allen, I mean, I forgot who they played last week. It was a lackluster, the Steelers. Okay, they played the Steelers last week. And they had a dominant game. And, I mean, Aaron Rodgers couldn't anything going. The offense was terrible for the Steelers. But when they face a good defense, and this Bengals defense looked really good against Lamar Jackson, can they show up against, the Bills? Can they do really good in Buffalo? And it's going to be a tough game. Going to be cold weather. Can Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase go in? And T. Higgins, I think he's back this game. Bounce back. What do you think what's going to happen in this game?
Honestly, in a hostile environment, I do think the Bills will kind of edge out the Bengals. But This defense is just terrible for the Bengals too. Like I feel like Josh Allen
Yeah.
will just start carving them up. Although I do think it will be a high scoring game because when you have an offense combined with like $400 million between three players, you got to start putting some numbers up. So honestly, I do think the Bills will ultimately win, but I do think it will be a high scoring game.
I'm going to go opposite with you. I think the Bengals are going to go on a hot streak. I think the Bengals go on a hot streak for the division. They got the Steelers already. They're done with the Steelers 1-1. They got the Ravens again still. They got I believe, the Browns still one more game. And then you got the Cardinals. Like, their stretch is very easy and winnable for this, terrible division they're in. The Dolphins, yeah, they got the Ravens next week after this, the Dolphins on Sunday night, and the Cardinals and the Browns, okay? That's a winnable way to get the division. Somehow the Steelers are going to somehow win this division or go 9-8. I don't know. We'll see. It's just so weird. But speaking of, like, the Steelers, how do you feel about the Mike Tomlin situation? Is he going to stay or do you think he's going to go?
Honestly, it's weird to say because I feel like he does need to change the scenery.
He
I
does.
feel like both sides. I feel like the Steelers just need to kind of embrace the tank. They've been on the edge of just going like, kind of 10-7, 9-8, maybe 11-6. But it's like at some point you just gotta like just accept that you gotta be bad for 1 year or a couple of years to kind of reset.
You got to get a quarterback. You got to get a quarterback.
You can't be going with like guys like Kenny Pickett late rounds or relying on like Will Howard to step up. Or like even Aaron Rodgers coming in at 40 years old. You can't really rely on that to win you a Super Bowl. You just got to be terrible. We've seen that throughout a lot of teams. Not really any of them getting lucky on kind of signing a quarterback other than maybe I'd say the Vikings, but they didn't really do anything with that. A lot of first-round exits for them. So when you kind of tank or even trade like your best players, like I know it's a sensitive topic, but trading TJ Watt I feel like would be best for this team, especially with how expensive his contract is.
I do agree with that. I think after the contract extension they gave him this offseason, he only has 7 sacks, and he's not the same player. He is not looking like the same player. He doesn't show up. In the Bills game, he was nowhere to be existing. That offensive line did really good against him. The only player I think showed up was Cam Hayward, and other than that, I think this team, they have the rookies and the talent. I mean, Nick Herberg, I don't even know his name, from Wisconsin or one of their other edge rushers, and you still got Highsmith, and you drafted Jack Sawyer from Ohio State. You have young players. Maybe it's time to get rid of the TJ Watt era and put the young guys in to start a new era. And Cam Ward's getting old, TJ Watt's getting old. Get get new young players in the system and bring back that Steelers defense that you had in 2017 and that identity of knowing that you had a top tier defense. Because coming here, I thought this defense was going to be phenomenal. I thought the Jalen Ramsey, the Darius Slay, the Joey Porta, I thought it was going to be something. They have arguably one of their worst defenses they had in years in past in the Mike Tomlin era, and it's bad. And I'm really disappointed in this team so far. And speaking of them, they got Baltimore this week. Who do you think that comes out this win, if you had to say?
Honestly, where's this game at?
Baltimore. Baltimore's fair at 6 points right now.
I'm gonna say Baltimore only because it is in Baltimore. Lamar Jackson's been really cold, so I feel like he'll have like a bounce back game. I think his last 3 games is 3 interceptions, 0 touchdowns. But going back to the Steelers, you said their defense was a major disappointment, but I think their offense was the most disappointing. Especially paying DK Metcalf 5-year, $150 million, bringing in Aaron Rodgers, getting rid of George Pickens to your Dallas Cowboys. It's just going all in and it all coming back to crash down on you. I think it's been a really bad season for the Steelers. I don't think Mike Tomlin's really having his best career kind of end towards the Steelers. So I do think, again, he needs to change the scenery. And I just think the Steelers will lose this game and kind of need to reset.
Yes, and then the Steelers, if they win this game, I'm going to go Baltimore also in this game. And they're both 6-6 right here. So one of the teams are going to drop to, 6-7. But, it's just going to happen right there. But, yeah, enough talk of that game. Tampa Bay versus the Saints, I don't think we say too much. The Bucs should dominate in this game. The Saints, they're just pretty much getting ready for April and trying to get their franchise quarterback, who's playing right now, Fernando, tonight. So we'll see how that goes, or pretty much. But, yeah. I think the Bucs, they're getting healthy. Mike Evans is back. Chris Godwin's back. I think Baker's going to be, fully healthy after his injury against, the Rams and had a decent game against the Cardinals. I mean, the Bucs should win this division, but the Panthers are coming up. They still got the Panthers twice into the year. So we'll see how this year goes for the Bucks. I mean, how do you feel like the Bucks are this year, if you had to say?
They started off really hot, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they looked like Super Bowl runaways at some points in the season. Like, Baker Mayfield looked like MVP. And then all of a sudden, injuries start piling up, losses start coming in. It's like, is this team really legit, or are they just kind of benefiting off of a weak division? You can look at both sides. I really do think the Panthers are improving, but they're not ready to take that next step. So I do think the Bucks will win this division, but I don't know. I don't think they'll go on the run a lot of people expect them to.
And the thing is, how long do the Bucks have until this division is like stop being bad? You know, like during the New England era, the Patriots were dominant so fast because of the terrible division they had. And no offense to your Jets, but it was just such a bad division. The
No.
Bucks have been so benefit for a terrible division since Drew Brees retired, and the Falcons have had to find the quarterback issue. The Saints haven't found anything since Drew Brees retired, and the Panthers are still trying to figure out what they are as a franchise in the Bryce Young era. So they're trying to find some familiarity. And it's the Bucks team. I mean, for 4 years in a row, they've been running this division, or 5 now, pretty much since Tom Brady and the Baker era. So maybe they find it out. They gotta win a Super Bowl or make it back or something to continue this dominance of this division. Because this division, the Panthers are coming, pretty much, if
Yeah.
I'm seeing so far.
Yeah, the Panthers' improvement throughout 2 years has just been phenomenal. Finally getting Bryce Young the stuff he deserves. As an Alabama student right now, it's always easy to root for the former guys, especially Bryce
Yeah.
Young. I know I'm in Charlotte right now. I live in Charlotte, where my family does, and
That's good.
been to a lot of games, and just like seeing him struggle was just like, kind of feel for the guy, but seeing him improve and like get his wide receiver one Tet. Rico Dowdle too has been
Yeah.
phenomenal.
It's when they give him the ball, yes.
Yes, and like Derek Brown's been fantastic. J.C. Horn's just been J.C. Horn. I really think the Panthers could make a run into this division this year.
Yes, and they have a bye this week. They have a chance for this. Getting the win over the Rams last week in a great game, forcing 3 turnovers on Matthew Stafford, the forced fumble and 2 picks. Just a phenomenal game by them. And the thing is, Bryce Young, when he's not under pressure, he's phenomenal. He has to sit in the pocket in a perfect space for him to throw the ball to T-Mac, Leggett, Cooker, whoever it needs to be, and get the play action built with that. Because with Rico or Chuba, that helps with that domination. It gives you that vibe of the kind of the Lions, build the turnovers, get the health, and have these 2 dominant receivers with a dominant backfield. I think they're looking really good right now so far. But enough talking about them. Cleveland versus Tennessee. This is a fun game. I'm going to love this. Shedeur versus Cam Ward. Who do you think is going to – both of them, they're best friends. How do you think Shedeur's going to do in this game? Or both these quarterbacks?
I have a good feeling for Shedeur this week. He's been off to his Prove It tour now. He's been benched. I've been a Shedeur fan. I don't really like the media kind of bashing him for his father and everything. Although, yes, he is a very cocky guy. I feel like what I say to a lot of people is you have to be cocky when you're in the NFL. Because if you're not and you don't have your confidence through the roof, then you're going to struggle. So I do think Shedeur will do great, especially with his running back, Quinshon Judkins. I did not expect Quinshon to be good. With all of his off-season disputes, with all the charges against him and everything, I was kind of rating this guy off and was just like, all right, well, Cleveland drafted another bust, but he's been great. I really do think the Browns' offense is improving, but their defense, I don't know how to say the one dude's name, but the rookie they got, the linebacker, he's been awesome.
Carson?
Yeah, Carson, and then Myles Garrett is just – I hope he breaks the record. I really do.
I think he will. I think he'll have 24, 25 at least. I think Myles Garrett, I just hate how he's not on a non-contending team. If he was on a contending team, it would be so different. He could be a game wrecker because you look at the Browns, they have such a great defense. If Shedeur could play like this next year, he's averaging a touchdown right now, interception in each game. Okay, he's getting the rhythm way better than Dylan Gabriel because Dylan Gabriel's scared to throw a deep ball. It's insane. And Shedeur just, first couple plays, he threw it out there for Sheer Tillman, I think, first play. This guy threw almost a 60-yard bomb. So he can throw that ball, and Junkins and him, maybe they have a rookie duo, kind of like a Jackson Dart and Cam Scatterbo duo, kind of like that. I just don't want the Browns to bail on Shedeur yet. Let him finish this year, and don't draft a quarterback yet. Do not give Shedeur a year maybe bring a vet in, maybe bring back Winston or someone, a true vet, or Joe Flacco, or still have Dylan Gabriel, because I don't think you need to buy all in your chips on if I say a quarterback yet. Maybe go after Caleb Downs. Maybe go get another receiver right next to him, because Jared Judy, get rid of him. I hate him.
You hate Jerry?
This guy is terrible. I mean, Steve Smith
Yeah,
came out.
he got a lot of balls, and then he was like yelling at Shadur on the sideline. It was like, it's crazy. But I do think, what was I going to say about Cleveland is they have Deshaun Watson coming back, but it's like, do we really think
they came back and said he's done for the year, but he's going to come back next year.
I did see that, but like, do you really think he's going to be starting next year, or do you think Shadur has the front keys right now?
It's such an off season. It's such a training camp. It depends how training camp goes in preseason games. It's how it was this earlier this year. It was a battle. Like Kenny Pickett, Joe Flacco, Tyler Huntley, Dylan Gabriel, the battle of and Bailey Zappi you had 6 quarterbacks in that quarterback room battling for a spot. I wish that was the Hard Knocks, man. Shit, that would be insane. 6 quarterbacks.
That would be a great Hard Knocks.
That would be phenomenal. Seeing 6 quarterbacks in different rooms. I mean, that would have been historic. But talking about Tennessee, Tennessee, I want to see who their next coach is. I think it's John Gruden, Cliff Kingsbury. This team is Cam Ward and Jeffrey Simmons and that kick return guy, Dyke, or I don't even know his name is. I mean, that's the 3 best players on their team right now, if I had to say.
Yeah, I mean, they've just been really bad. I mean, you kind of look at is this like a Bryce Young situation where they had nobody around them and he kind of struggles. And I mean, Cam Ward's one heck of a player. He's been taking full accountability for everything too. So he just seems like he isn't pointing fingers at everyone, blaming everyone else. He's taking all the pressure from the media and everything. So I do think in the draft they'll go Ruben Bain, try to kind of up that defense. But I mean, you got to get him a receiver. Starting out, you can't give him a washed old Tyler Lockett or a Calvin Ridley. It's just not going to work out.
No, and you drafted 2 rookies, of course, from Stanford, and the other guy, I forgot who it was. That one guy's been going off for the kick return team, Dyke something. You like Dyke. You just need a true receiver. You need to give him a true X factor receiver, because every rookie quarterback or your second year quarterback, they get their stud receiver or they draft someone. I mean, you look at DJ Moore, Dak Prescott's second year. Third year he got Amari Cooper. Josh Allen's third year he got Stephon Diggs. Look at Drake May, second year got Stephon Diggs. You get get yourself a
Joe
true
Burrow
number
got
one.
Jamar Chase, and they went to the Super Bowl with them. So I mean,
It's
I'm not saying the Titans are going to the Super Bowl, but if you get him a good receiver, then you could probably improve.
Definitely. And this receiver class is very depth. Also, Zakir Branch was phenomenal today. There's many receivers in this class. We'll definitely talk late in April when it comes to the draft class season, of course. Last 12 o'clock game, of course, New York versus the Dolphins. Your Jets got the win over them. You got the win over the Falcons last week. The last time you played them was on, I think, Thursday night or Monday night. I don't know what it was. And y'all lost that game. That was Justin Fields pretty much his tilting point pretty much in that game. And Garrett Wilson had that crazy catch in that game. You look at this, the Dolphins are building momentum. They're trying to push for a late push for the playoffs. The Jets, they're just, I mean, you can speak for about this game if you need to say.
We're just here to have fun at this point. Honestly, with 5 first-round picks in the next 2 years, I mean, it's kind of hard to mess this up. Obviously, fun fact, we had 5 first-round picks between 2021 and 2022, where we had, Zach Wilson, Elijah Vera Tucker, Sauce, Garrett, and then Jermaine. So you can see, obviously, it's possible that they do mess it up. But I really trust this front office to the point where, as, the future for this organization could improve if Woody Johnson takes a step back. But ultimately, I do think, yes, the Dolphins are on a hot streak, and I think they'll continue it. Unfortunately, they do play the Jets, so I'm going to give the Jets a win, though.
It's a fun fact. Tua sucks in cold weather. He's 0-something in, cold weather of below 40 degrees. He can't perform in the cold. I don't know why. Every time you see him in the cold, he doesn't win. Last year against y'all, he lost, end of the year. It was y'all's last game with Aaron Rodgers. He somehow always lose in the cold. I don't know why. It's just it's kind of funny. Mike McDaniel says we play in the cold and all that one shirt he had a long time ago. I don't know what it was, but it was just I don't know. I think the Dolphins should win this game, but I'm gonna go. I might honestly might go Jets. I think the cold might bother the Dolphins still because if they
Yeah,
lose this game,
I
I
do
don't know
want
what
to
to do.
say Tua didn't play last year in the cold against us. It was Tyler Huntley, but the one thing I did see is that we are 0-7 against Tua all
Ooh.
like throughout his career. So it's kind of like a stoppable object. Or no, yeah, something like that, where it's like two things meet up. And it's like someone's got to budge. So
So
we'll have
something
to.
that gotta. Yeah, that's definitely true. Honestly, that's something gotta budge
I
with
got my
that.
Jets winning tomorrow. Always got to support.
Gotta support the Jets, of course. Um, enough of the 12 o'clock ones. Let's hit. We got one more 12 o'clock. Jags versus the Colts. I got Jags. I think the
Yeah.
Colts are going in a snowball effect, and they're gonna fall. It's fall and fall. I know you love that. Hear that?
I'm embracing it. Let's go. This is the greatest thing that ever happened to me, honestly.
Yes. I mean, because you have their pick and everything, and Sauce Gardner, he's hurt. Also, he doesn't have Achilles injury. I don't know how long he's going to be gone. But the Colts are just falling, dude. It just now with another thing is the crazy fact is the Jags haven't. No, the Colts have not won in Jacksonville since 2014. That's another thing.
Okay.
And another thing is the Jags. They're building momentum. The Colts, what's his name? Daniel Jones is still battling with his broken phobia and all that kind of stuff. And you saw last week he couldn't move in the pocket. He was stuck. He was a robot. And you missing that like his mobility inhibits this offense or inhibits it, like kind of like limits it. And this offense depends so much on Daniel Jones and Jonathan Taylor's ability to make plays and all that. And I don't know how this offense is going to be without them. And the defense, it's falling apart too. Everyone's getting hurt. And the Jags, they're getting hot right in the moment with, Jacoby Myers, Brian Thompson. I don't know if he played last week. I think he's back now. And then Strange is kicking in also. And then Trevor Etienne has been phenomenal. And T-Law, I don't even know how T-Law is, honestly.
T-Law's been – it's kind of disappointing how T-Law's career has panned out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, coming out of college, you could he was generational. But, like, if they're winning games, they're winning games. You can't kind of take that away from them. So, I do think the Jaguars will win tomorrow. And I'm hoping for a Jaguars win.
Of course you are. Yes, you are hoping them to win. And if they drop another game, it's going to be bad.
And they started 7-1. They'll be 8-5 if they lose. Yeah, going all in on a cornerback for 2 first-round picks and a promising young wide receiver, it's like, I don't know. We'll see how that turns out.
We'll definitely see how that turns out. And and then there's gonna be talks if you should pay Daniel Jones or not. It's a whole snowball, but that's something we'll definitely talk about late in the season of that. But heading to the other game, Vegas versus Denver. I don't need to say too much. I think Denver should win this game. Vegas. I mean, last time they played, it was 10-7. Denver should win this game. It's a winnable game, but what Bo Nix are we getting? We're going to get the Hall of Fame Bo Nix, like it looks like Tom Brady, or we're going to get Bo Nix that looks like 9 out there. I don't know what Bo Nix we get. This team is going to lose the first round because of Bo Nix. I'm calling it right now.
You don't lose the first round?
I think
they could get the bye. They could get the bye. So
could get the bye, but I think they're so fraudable because Bo Nix. That's the big thing, and I think Sean Payne cannot. He does not want to deny it. He can't deny it because that's his pick. He picked him. That's his own personal pick.
I mean, Bo Nix has been pretty good to start his career, but like there's been some games where it's just like, is this guy Zach Wilson or is he like Josh Allen? So
it's weird.
Yeah,
it's weird. I think they should win this game against the Raiders. The Raiders, they fired Chip Kelly. It's pretty much Jency and Brock Bowers, this team. So that's all I got to say about this game, if I have to say.
Yeah.
Cardinals.
You can't forget about Max Crosby, though. He's on.
Max Crosby, of course. Those are the 3 trifectas. That's all you need: a running back, a star receiver, and then an edge rusher. That's your franchise.
And they just got to find
Maybe they go after. Speaking of Kyler Murray, Cardinals, he's done for the year, and the Cardinals are. I'm very disappointed in the Cardinals. I thought they're a wild card team. I really thought they're going to make a wild card this year with everyone they added on the defense with Josh Sweat, Walter Nolan, Will Johnson, the secondary, got Campbell back. I thought they had everyone back, but it doesn't look like it. If I have to say,
I honestly agree. I did think they would have made the wild card push, but no, it has not looked like that so far.
And got eliminated last week, and Kyler Murray's officially done for the year, and it's pretty much tank season. And Kyler Murray. Yeah, he's playing Call of Duty BO7 right now. Heesh. I know. And the Rams, they'll bounce back. They're not gonna just take a big loss after that game against the Panthers. They'll dominate this game. They're fair at 10 points in this game, so they should dominate in this game. Um, but let's talk about the game of the week: Green Bay versus Chicago. What's your thoughts about this? It's in Green Bay.
It's in Green Bay, yeah. I mean, I have Caleb Williams started in fantasy, so I'm
Okay.
relying. That rush defense on Green Bay is really good. So you're gonna have to rely on Caleb Williams to kind of throw one hell of a game tomorrow. So it's either Caleb Williams comes out looking like the number one overall pick, looking like the Heisman he was, and honestly, I'm gonna say it. That is my upset of the week. I do think the Bears will come out and beat the Green Bay Packers.
He did it before last year. He did it in
Yep.
the last week of the season with the game-winning field goal. They get their first win over Green Bay in forever since like 2018. I'm gonna take the Packers.
Okay.
I think the Bears. It's the Bears. Something's gonna happen. It's Green Bay has owned these guys forever. And do I trust Ben Johnson? Of course. It's the first game against Matt LaFleur, and I mean, these two quarterbacks, Caleb Williams, Jordan Love, it's the next dynasty or next, quarterback rivals, of course, of this era. And the run game has been looking good. They had a 200 yards game against Philadelphia, and Philadelphia is known for their great defense on the road. If they bring the running attack and win the line of scrimmage, like they've been doing for the past two games, then the Bears can win. I think it just wins at the line of scrimmage. Who can win at the line of scrimmage and put Jordan Love on his, ass? That's the thing. Jordan Love, I think he's the worst quarterback when he has no pocket, when he has nothing there, and he can't. He depends so much on his sitting back there and reading the field on his reads.
Yeah.
He depends that so much because if he can't read the field, he's done. And he can't get under pressure. I think he's one of the worst quarterbacks under pressure. And you look at the stats when he's under pressure against the Philadelphia game, any game pretty much. I mean, last week against the Lions couldn't get any pressure on him, and that's why he had a phenomenal game. So you got to put pressure on Jordan Love. So
Yeah.
and the Bears, I think Caleb Williams, those guys are gonna be good. I just don't. I think the Green Bay Packers are gonna somehow pull out a win. They're fair at 7 points in this game. I'm definitely gonna take the under or the over, or I don't even know, or like that. I don't even know the over
Really,
under
it's
in
gonna
this
be
game.
high scoring.
I think it's gonna be a low scoring game. Honestly, I think it's gonna be
Defensive
like,
showdown. Yeah, I mean the Bears' defense has looked really good. Like they're forcing turnovers left and right.
oh
So
yeah,
yeah. As long as they can force Caleb Williams, as long as they can force Jordan Love, like you said, to not be able to read the field and kind of make him make bad decisions, like that one pass against Carolina, make those type of plays, then you're pretty much set.
in the Browns game example too, like any game like he's under pressure and there's nothing there, he's terrible. Games that he's looked phenomenal against defenses are not the best. So when he plays a top tier defense, he sucks. So I don't know how he's going to do in the playoffs with that.
Yeah, well,
And if the the Bears travel, maybe they can pull out the win. But yeah, Kansas City versus Houston now for the Sunday night game, prime time. This right here is Kansas City's last game. I think the Texans win. I think this is.
for real.
I think the Houston Texans win this game, and they end the Chiefs, drop to 6-7, and they are done. And it's such a meme year, and I think it's the end of the dynasty, pretty much, of this era until the next 3 years, because Tom Brady took a while until he won his next Super Bowl.
Okay,
But I
yeah,
think
that
it's
makes sense.
I think we won't see the Chiefs for the next 2 years, in my opinion.
For real. Wow. You think the Texans are gonna? What do you think? What do you think the Texans have to do to beat the Chiefs?
Will Anderson and Delane Hunter. That's all I got to say. Those two guys have a combined of 20 sacks right now, or 22 sacks.
Jeez.
That defense is the number. You saw what Josh Allen was. Josh Allen was
Yeah.
nothing. James
Josh
Cook
Allen
was
looked like none.
He looked like 9. Like James Cook was the only reason why that was a competitive game. And CJ Stroud is back this week. Or no, his second game back. Yeah, second game back after the game against the Colts, and he did decent. And we'll see how he does against Kansas City. I know they play. This is the rematch, of course, of playing in the playoff game last year. And the thing is, the Texans should have won that game against them because the PI. There were so many roughing the passer calls they missed in that game, and they should have won the game. So that's my opinion on that. What's your thoughts on that?
I think I'm gonna have to disagree with you on this one.
Okay.
I do think the Chiefs will somehow pull some voodoo magic like they always do and get a win. I mean, I don't want to say it, but you can't count out on Mahomes, even though he's been struggling recently. Like you just can't count on out on him.
He hasn't been struggling. It's the defense, or like they're not getting the calls they need, or the run game's not existing. That's what's been struggling.
Yeah, I mean the refs aren't on their side anymore. You
Yeah.
you could tell like some went down where like they were talking about okay, we need to stop giving these guys every call.
I mean, look at the Cowboys game. I mean, they flipped on them. Shit.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that was.
It was bad. They're getting every call, the pass interference, the roughing.
Yeah, I know you were happy about that.
Oh, of course. Beat the Chiefs. Eesh. I was happy for 2 weeks. Now I'm depressed. Eesh.
I mean, I was looking at y'all's schedule and, like, honestly, like, you might be right. Y'all could win out. Like, your schedule.
We could win out. We just need the Commanders to win at least the 2 of the games, and we need this week. Of course, we're gonna hop in this game right now. The Monday night game against the Chargers and the Eagles, and then they got to play the Bills. I think they'll lose to the Bills at the end of the year. So I think at least 3 games they got to lose. That's our only way to get in.
Yep. I don't know. Yeah, I do think the Eagles are kind of falling off. You know, you saw that same thing happen in 2023. They started off so hot, 10-1, and then finished 11-6.
6.
Yeah, it's
lost to the damn Giants. Last game.
That's ridiculous. I mean, like obviously, like you know, you're coming off a Super Bowl, but just Saquon hasn't looked like he has been. Which I do think they're not. They're trying not to let him get injured. They're trying to limit him. With the amount of rushes he had last year, like it's safe to say, like they don't want like CMC in 2023, so many rushes, and then they bring him back, and 24. Then all of a sudden he's injured for an entire year. So I don't think they want to have that with Saquon, who's had a recent, or not recently, but who's had like a history of like having injuries. Mm-hmm. So we'll have to see. But yes, I do think the Eagles are falling off.
And now, speaking of their game, Monday night, Chargers versus them. Trey Lance, or I don't even know. I think there's so many talks of Trey Lance. It's a game time decision if it's Trey Lance or Justin Herbert, because Justin Herbert he got hurt last week. He did finish the game, though, but he had surgery earlier this week. So I don't know if he's playing or not for this game.
Me neither. I haven't seen anything out. I saw a video of him like practicing with a cast on, but that's the only thing I've seen.
And I think Hampton is back for this game.
Yep.
Yeah, it says he's questionable, but they say 8 hours ago he's questionable, but he remains on injury reserve. So I don't know how that's going to work.
Wow, so that's crazy. I thought he was supposed to come back.
Yeah, he's been practicing for the past week, so like I don't know.
Could this be like a Trey Benson situation where it's like they'll be like, yeah, he's coming back, and then nope, he's not coming back.
And you know who's been screwed lately with the Eagles? Jalen Carter and Lane Johnson. They're both out for this game, and the Eagles are 1-10 now in the Jalen Hurts era with Lane Johnson since he's like anytime he's hurt. 1-10.
Wow.
So I don't know how this game's going to go. It's in LA, but that's no crowd, so it's going to be all Philadelphia, of course, mostly a home crowd. And I'm going to take Trey Lance or like some quarterback. I'm going to take these guys. I think that what we saw last week was the defense got exposed. Vic Fangio and those guys got exposed a little bit, run the damn ball down their throat, and just win the line of scrimmage and put pressure on Jalen Hurts a little bit because it makes no sense. They flip-flopped. In the first half, the defense did good and the offense sucked. The second half, the offense did better. The defense sucked. It just didn't equal well, and I don't know why it was like that.
Yeah, give me LA in this game. Eagles, I'm hoping for that downfall too.
I do, man. If they somehow downfall, that's just finish the year 10-7. That's the only way the Cowboys can win the division, and that'd just be a historic downfall right there.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
And you know, Eagles fans will be calling for Sirianni and Kevin Patula. Of course, they'll be.
Kevin Patula's got to go. He's been terrible. Like he hasn't involved like AJ Brown or like Devon.
Well, his past 2 games he's been involving AJ. It's been the AJ game. It's just no run game now. There's no run
in the AJ game, but they've been losing. So
yeah, I know.
One thing's got to happen.
I know, and it's Saquon. They're not even running the ball with their other running back, Tank Bisbee, and he's been a phenomenal like when he gets off that ball, pretty much.
Yeah, him and Will Shipley. I mean, I'm a Will Shipley fan because he's from where I'm from. So
yeah, of course.
Always got that love for him.
So yes, and that's pretty much all for the games of the week. And thank you all for joining me in this episode with me and Ty. Like and subscribe, and thank you all for joining.